Hi everybody and welcome to the channel. Let's go on a trip. Let's go time travelling back into yesteryear. In fact, 34 years ago. The year was 1986. This was a performance that Christopher Cross gave of his song. Well, in fact, if we went back 27 years, that would be 1983, the year he released this beautiful song called Think of Laura. Christopher Cross, we hear quite frequently. There are a few songs that were quite characteristic of the 1980s that were hits of his. Sometimes I wonder what makes a song sound dated. At the time, obviously, we just think, well, it's current day music, it's modern. But in the future, like us now, looking back on the past, I think we can look at it and see certain things and characteristics that make it sound dated as if it's from the 80s. We have our memories of when the songs were around. We link them to certain events in our lives. But also, you can hear just by sometimes if there's an electric keyboard, they have very 1980s sounding keyboards. If it's a Yamaha DX7, for example, and things like that. Sometimes it's the theme of the songs. Perhaps that's with this, but I think most of all it's when we link times in our life to those points in time. This song's no exception. It's not a song that I recognise from the 80s. In fact, I knew some of his other songs, but not this one. It's only quite a recent discovery for me. When I heard him perform this on quite a recent concert, I'm not sure how long ago it was from, maybe a couple of years ago. It's on YouTube. And he performed a medley of songs including this, and it really caught my ear. And I absolutely have loved this song since I heard it. I'm looking forward to hearing this particular version. I haven't listened to this version of it that Christopher Cross gave in 1986. But I know from his recent performances is that he still sounds exactly the same. He has a very unique voice, quite a high male voice. And his voice is quite unique and really nice. So anyway, a little bit about him. He was born in 1951 in San Antonio, Texas. He's a musician, singer, songwriter, composer. He won 5 Grammys, actually, for his debut 1979 album, self-titled. The singles off this album were Sailing and Arthur's Songs. Arthur's Song. They're probably his most well-known songs, and this one isn't far behind. And it's interesting to note that a flamingo has been used on all his album covers. And when interviewed about this at some stage, he has said that there is no significance to this. It's just a flamingo was used on the first album, I'm guessing, and then it just seemed to be a good little connection. Interesting, right? Recently, I've read he's had COVID-19, and I think this was back in April, but he's now recovering from this. So, that's not good. Good that he's recovering, though. So this song, Think of Laura, was from his second album, Another Page, which was released in 1983. The song was written by Christopher Cross, and he actually wrote this song as a mourning for his girlfriend's close friend, Laura Carter, who was visiting her parents in Columbus, Ohio, at the time, and was hit by a stray bullet from some gang activity that was going on nearby, and she died. Very sad. Also, the American show General Hospital used this song for one of the characters in the show called Laura. And Laura and Luke were a couple on the show, quite a renowned couple at the time in the early 1980s. And Laura ended up in the show, went missing off a pier. It was presumed that she drowned and died. And so this song was played every time Luke was remembering Laura. And then down the track a bit, she reappeared she returned. She hadn't died after all. So then the song, which was synonymous with Laura's character, with Laura as their character in the show, and it was quite well known at the time, apparently. It turned out, actually, in the show, Laura had been kidnapped and her life was saved, and then she ended up either escaping or she was released, one or the other, and she returned back. And the story went from there. Very interesting, right? But anyway, let's hear Christopher Cross in his 1986 performance of this beautiful song, Think of Laura. Let's go.
See her smile, turn my day around. A girl with those eyes, stare through the lies, see what your heart was saying. Think of Laura, but laugh, don't cry. I know she wanted that way. And when you think of Laura, till the end. That's the kind of girl she was, taken away so young, taken away without a warning. Think of Laura, but laugh, don't cry. I know she wanted that way. And when you think of Laura, every day we live, I know her, and well, she's here. I can feel her when I see. Hey Laura, where are you now? Are you far away from here? I don't think so, I think you're here, taking our tears away. Think of Laura, but laugh, don't cry. I know she wanted that way. And when you think of Laura, well, laugh, don't cry. I know she wanted that way. She wanted that way. Hey Laura, hey Laura, I know you wanted that way. Hey Laura, hey Laura, I know you wanted that way. Hey Laura.
Oh, how beautiful. Brilliant performance once again from Christopher Cross. And as I said, his very recent performance of this song, or in that performance, he sounds just as good. Sounds no different, actually. Oh, that was just such a beautiful rendition of his song, Think of Laura. What a sad song. So emotional. Oh, I absolutely love that. I love it. Oh, it really does take you on a trip back to yesteryear, truly. Let's go from the start. So, we've got the beautiful introduction. Well, on the intro, his vocals come in virtually straight away. And then you hear his very smooth voice come in so nicely.
Laura, hey Laura.
Okay, and that effect, it could be a vocoder, I'm guessing. That is another thing that really dates it, which is so beautiful. I don't mean dates the music in a bad way, I mean in a good way. I love retro things. Retro music, no exception. If it sounds a bit dated, I'm in. I love it. Oh, that was such a nice start. Let's play it again.
See her smile, turn my day around. A girl with those eyes, stare through the lies, see what your heart was saying.
Beautiful first verse. Excellent finger picking on the electric guitar by him as well. Oh, it's beautiful. Now we're into the chorus, and you can hear where he sings, "Don't cry," on cry. He has a beautiful ornament that goes where he hits the note, sings the note above, and goes back to the note. Cry, cry. Sort of like that. Beautiful.
With those eyes, stare through the lies, see what your heart was saying. Think of Laura, but laugh, don't cry.
Yes, so that ornament just there, that time he sang the line, you could hear the word cry with that slight ornament. It's just, it decorates it so beautifully. His voice, as I said, is so smooth and it just melts over the instrumental part beautifully.
Well, laugh, don't cry, I know she wanted that way. A friend of a friend till the end. That's the kind of girl she was.
Yes, and here you can particularly hear that, I'm pretty sure it's a Yamaha DX7 keyboard with a Tynes sound on it. It's just got that type of sound to me. And here in this verse, he's got these beautiful slides down. And, oh, it's chorus actually. But you can hear, that's what I wrote here. It was about the chorus. There's some slides on laugh, sort of that slide. And then he does them here in the verse anyway as well, which is nice. And then he comes to some high notes too. So let me go back.
A friend till the end. That's the kind of girl she was. Taken away so young.
That's high note.
Taken away.
Yes, what a phrase when he hits that high note. Haven't heard any slides in the verse yet, but there was one almost. But definitely in the chorus. We'll come to it. I'll point it out.
Taken away so young. Taken away without a warning. Think of Laura, but laugh, don't cry. I know she'd want it that way.
Yes, on the word laugh. You can hear it. Laugh. He slides down.
Laura, but laugh, don't cry. Every day we live.
Yes, and his phrasing is really, really great. He knows just how to put the phrase together to tell the story of the song, this sad story. He's tried to keep it quite a positive song because it was written that way, intended to, you know, laugh but don't cry. She'd want it that way. But it's still very sad when you think about the meaning of it. Lovely.
I
Lovely
know
song.
you're here, and every day we live. I know her, and when she's here, I can feel her when I sing. Hey Laura, where are you now? Are you far away from here? I don't think so. I think you're here, taking our tears away. Think of love.
Oh, what an emotional song. And he's delivering it so matter-of-factly, but at the same time with such passion and emotion. Both at the same time. Brilliant.
Taking our tears away. Think of Laura, but left don't cry. I know she'd want it that way. Hey, yeah, when you think of Laura, well, left don't cry. I know she'd want it that way. Hey, yeah, well, I know she'd want it that way. Hey, Laura. Hey Laura, I know you want it that way. Hey Laura, hey Laura, I know you want it that way. Hey Laura.
And I love the use of the vocoder there as well. Another thing that I love about the datedness is where you have the overlay of him singing and then the background, and they sort of blend together. And that, to me anyway, is quite characteristic of that era and videos you see from then. Absolutely love it. Let's hear the ending again.
Hey Laura, I know you want it that way. Hey Laura, hey Laura, I know you want it that way. Hey Laura.
Oh, great performance by Christopher Cross. Great song by Christopher Cross. I love that. And what a great trip in the time machine back to the 80s. Oh, we'll have to do it again soon. See you then. Bye.